The latest thing in the news is that Character AI, which is a chatbot app, is now restricting and eventually banning users under 18. I think it's a really good thing. I don't want to play the cranky auntie who hates all youth culture, but chatbots are not your friend. Now, the details behind why chatbot AI is restricting young people, teenagers, people who are not yet adults from their app, which you would think would be not great for business, and probably it is not in the short term, but they are facing lawsuits. I'm not going to get into the details of the specific, very sad lawsuit in question, but I'll leave a link down below if that's something you care to read more about. I'll leave a few links from a few different sources as to what happened, but suffice it to say, chatbots with unlimited power are not a good idea for teenagers and maybe for anybody. We're starting to see this whole subject come up a lot in the realm of AI and it activating people with issues or even creating issues in people that were maybe not there before. So as society grapples with this particular disturbing phenomenon, this is not a makeup tutorial, but if you want to see the things that I'm using, I'll just put links down below. I just feel like I need to weigh in for those of you who have teenagers, who maybe don't have teenagers and don't know what this is about, or who maybe are alarmed, as I am, about how people are just disconnecting from reality. And that's seen as, I guess, okay. There's a statistic floating out there, and I'm just going to quote it off the top of my head. Again, I'll put notes down below for the sources, that some 52% of teenagers use chatbots who are friends, that kind of thing. And I'm here to tell you that they're not your friends. They're never going to be your friends. A chatbot is not a friend. And I'll tell you the huge piece that is missing that I don't really see talked about that much. And I'm worried that nobody wants to say it, but I'm not afraid to say it, so I'm going to say it. And that is, friendships are meant to be messy. Real life is meant to be messy. The friction is where the growth is in life. The forcing yourself to get out of the house and do things in person, the feeling uncomfortable, the feeling that little bit of social anxiety. These things will help you grow. Okay, I'm not talking about if you have like crippling mental health issues. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that if you persist in a comfortable state, your brain will die. I don't know how else to put it. Friendships are difficult. They can be easy, but sometimes they come to an end. That's difficult. Sometimes you disagree on something very fundamental. People will hurt you. People will support you. You cannot rely on a chatbot that's just there to gas you up all the time. Like, that has nothing to do with how social life works in real life. And if you don't start gaining those skills as a young adult, as a teenager, you're missing out. You really are missing out on the complexity and the beauty of real life and what it does mean to grow up. You don't want to be stuck in a perpetual adolescence where you'll have chatbots that are just there to, only chill and have a good time. Like, you need to learn how to deal with conflict. And if you're not willing to do that, and you're relying on a chatbot to be that support system for you, you're missing out on a key part of development. And I say this as someone with a teenager in the house. So I'm not just one of these cranky people that has never had kids, has no stake in the game. Like, this matters to me. I mean, I also want to say that I don't think everything was better back in my day. Like, I love a lot of the frictionless things that modern life provides. Like, I love, online or app-based banking, or like the fact that I can book my Pilates class at the touch of a finger and also cancel it without actually having to call, as we might have done, back in the olden days. It's not that. I love the conveniences of my smartphone. I would not want to go back to a society where I had no apps necessarily. But when it's replacing the valuable skill of learning and enjoying socializing, I have an issue with that. I don't think that is a good for society. I do think chatbots have a place. Sometimes you want to bounce an opinion off of a chatbot for something. I mean, I would be a hypocrite if I said I never ever have done that. I've definitely tried to do that, but it's never been as valuable as actually talking to somebody that I know and whose opinion I respect. It's never been better than that, and I don't think it ever will be. I mean, this may be harsh to hear, but it's probably better to have no friends and cope with that than to have these chatbot friends. They're not real. I don't know what to tell you. It's just a fakery of real life. And I feel like many people are saying this and nobody wants to listen because it's this fun new technology. And it's cool to have something spit back exactly what you want to hear, or maybe challenge you a little bit, but they'll still be there. Like, you can't really piss off a chatbot where it's never going to talk to you again, I don't think. You certainly can do that to a friend, though. And I think these distinctions are very important. I think that these are a key tenet of growing up. Like, just in general, people should be out more. They should be experiencing the world more. They should be, like I said, putting themselves in uncomfortable positions more. Being in your cozy comfort zone with your like sweatsuit on is now the default. And that makes me sad. It should be the special occasion thing, like on a Sunday, or on the end of a day on a Saturday. Your life should be busy. Third places are where you should be spending a lot of your time if you're a young person, not just being stuck inside in your home. And here's the thing. I know that many people out there legitimately suffer from issues, but unfortunately, I think that being inside more and more and more and relying on the safety, coziness, and comfort of only being inside is like a self-perpetuating danger. And I don't know, it probably takes you longer to get better if you're not willing to put some discomfort and some friction into your life. I know I'm getting away strictly from the topic of chatbots, but I think it's sort of in the same vein of, just being indoorsy, just that being your default comfort zone. So if you're young and you just think I'm being a cranky old bat about it, who's like, everything was better back in my day, I am not that person. I'm not like a Luddite who wants to break every smartphone known to mankind. It's not that. If you, don't respond to anything of what I'm saying because, you're a contrarian, that's fine. If you're young, that's probably a good place to be. Please do remember, though, that the purpose of these chatbots eventually, right, is to extract something from you. And so if those other things don't give you pause, the need for socialization, the need for your own development, if that doesn't give you pause, please remember that these are businesses that are being run, and you, are the fuel that powers those businesses. And they're going to make money off of you. They're not there for just some like nonprofit, social, collective good. So if nothing else puts you off, maybe you will hear that message. I am worried, though, that a lot of this stuff is just a bit inevitable. Like I am, and many of us are talking about it, are trying to do things about it, are speaking up where we can. I'm trying to use my platform to talk about some of the issues that I'm seeing right now in AI that I don't like. Despite that, I think that there is this inevitable march of progress in some ways, but I think that character AI has wisely made this move. And the way I understand it is they're not just going to a straight ban overnight, because that would be devastating to a lot of young people who are maybe psychologically reliant on their chatbot friends. What they're going to be doing instead is like just weaning off the time that you can spend on there with an eventual eye to banning it for young people. These are much more dangerous in my mind than some of the things that, we definitely put checks on for teenagers. Like if you're 14, you can't drive a car, at least not where I live. There are drinking ages in some places, all kinds of regulations. And this is the thing that's unchecked that can definitely and is known to cause harm. I don't have a problem with a ban in this case. In fact, I would go so far as to say probably social media, your Instagram, etc., should not be given to children at the young age that it is. Like Instagram for 12-year-old girls, does anybody really think that's a good idea? Like, who thinks that that is a net good for society, right? So I think we realized that a very long time ago, and we're only starting to slowly open our eyes to the dangers of things like AI chatbots who will roleplay with you and tell you to do very stupid things. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you consider liking and subscribing. This is Field Notes, a brand new channel. My name is Helen. I could really use your support here. See you in the next video.